Hi, today I will talk about the executive branch. If our U.S. government is a tree, the top brown parts of the tree, here and here and here, these are called branches. We have 3 branches in our government: the legislative branch, executive branch, and the judicial branch. Today we will talk about the executive branch. Here is another picture of the 3 branches. On the side here, you will see the legislative branch. Congress makes up the legislative branch. There are 2 parts of Congress. First part is the House of Representatives. Please repeat, House of Representatives. House of Representatives. Second part of Congress is the Senate. Please repeat, the Senate. The Senate. Good. Today we will talk about the executive branch. The executive branch is the president and the vice president. They meet in the White House here. Here is another picture of the 3 branches of government. First is on the left side, the legislative branch. Their job is to make laws. There are 2 parts, Senate and House of Representatives. On the right side, we have the judicial branch. They study the law and make sure that things are following the law. They test and judge if something is against the law or not against the law. The most famous and the highest court in the judicial branch is the Supreme Courts. Courts are a part of the judicial branch. Today, we will be studying the executive branch. They carry out the laws. Their job is to enforce the laws, which we will talk about later. In the executive branch, we have the president and vice president and the cabinet. The executive branch is, we will talk about the executive branch. The president of the United States is the head of the executive branch of the government. Head means leader. So the president is the leader of the executive branch. We will look at this reading in more detail. The executive branch enforces the laws of the United States. That means they make sure that people follow the rules of the law. What does it mean to enforce the laws? Well, for example, there are law enforcement agencies that are part of the executive branch. This means that the police is part of the executive branch. There are national police like Secret Service, CIA, FBI. These are examples of the government's police, but even state and local police are part of the executive branch. They make sure that people are following the laws. The president is also called the chief executive. Chief is another word for leader. The president is also the commander-in-chief of the military. That means he is the leader of the army, the navy, of soldiers. There are many parts of the military in the United States, but one of them is the army. One of them is the navy. Okay? When Congress wants to make a new law, it writes a document called a bill. This is Congress. Remember, in Congress there are two parts. Congress is the House of Representatives, and it is the Senate. Two parts. So, to review, when Congress wants to make a new law, it writes a document called a bill. Then the Senate and House of Representatives have to vote in Congress. They must vote to pass the bill, to approve it. For example, when they vote, if 250 people say yes, and 249 people say no, it passes because more people said yes than no. So then the bill, when it passes, it goes to the president. Okay? So the bill goes to the president once Congress passes the bill. And if the president approves or says yes, the president signs the bill. Here is his signature. And then it becomes a law. Before it becomes a law, it is a bill. After it passes, it is called a law. Before it passes, the name is the bill. After it passes, it becomes a law. If the president doesn't approve, the president can veto the law and it doesn't become a law. The president lives and works in the White House. The American people elect a president for 4 years. For example, our president now works from 2020 to 2024, and that is 4 years. The president can serve 2 terms. That means 8 years in total. Okay? That is 8 years in total. We vote for the president in November. So the president lives and works in the White House, which is in Washington, D.C., and the American people elect a president for 4 years. Elect is another word for vote. They vote for a president for 4 years. The president's term is 4 years, and the president can serve 2 terms. How many years total is that? 8 years total. We vote for president in November. The vice president works with the president. The American people elect the president and the vice president at the same time together. Okay? If the president can no longer serve, the vice president becomes president. When it says no longer serve, maybe the president dies or the president becomes sick. These are examples of why a president can no longer serve. It means that they cannot work anymore. So if the president can no longer serve, next the vice president becomes president. If both the president and vice president can no longer serve, then the Speaker of the House of Representatives becomes the president. This is the Speaker of the House. She is the leader of the House of Representatives. Her name is Nancy Pelosi. So she will become the president if the president and the vice president cannot work anymore. The name of the president of the United States now is Joe Biden. The name of the vice president is Kamala Harris. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's term ends December 2024. A new election for the next 4 years will take place in November 2024. That means in November 2024, we will vote for the president again. Okay, so let's review. Where is the U.S. government? It is in Washington, D.C. And where is Colorado's government? It is in Denver. Thank you for listening.